Hello, my loves. Welcome to the final day of Reclaim Your Body Love, 3-day event that we've been on together. And just so excited to bring this to you today, tonight, wherever you are. I will be recording this for you, those of you who aren't able to show up. I know that we're all at different times around the world, so it's been quite hard to match up those times. So there's going to be some new changes coming to the way that I run these challenges soon. So just keep posted about those because that's really going to be a game changer for you to get the help that you need. Because it's part of the journey that we shouldn't be doing this alone. We should be doing this together. It's time to come together, to collaborate, to be able to help each other through this because it's a big life change that we're going through when we have a hysterectomy, when we hit menopause, when we have these body changes, even just aging and going through the process of aging can be challenging. And it's important that we have support um, so that we know that we're not alone and that how we're feeling is heard and seen and other people around us understand as well. So, let me get into today's session, last session. Today is the Embodied Woman Confidence, Power, and Self-Trust session. So what has shifted for you since day one? I know I've spoken to a couple of you, and there's been some shifts and some aha moments and some new insights coming in. And that's what this work's all about. When we start to access that subconscious mind, we can start to uncover some of the hidden things that we weren't aware of that are, humming in the background of our lives, of our minds, and in our bodies, most importantly, which you'll hear me talk about a lot. So it's important to recognize, to celebrate, and just to reflect on what has shifted for you since the day one. I know yesterday was a massive session where we really released shame. Um, have you already started your healing journey in that? And what does that look like for you? I'd love for you to comment and message me, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So now it's time to integrate this experience fully. So we're going to be talking about um, feminine energy and body confidence. So how do we trust our body again? Well, one of the ways in which I've come up with a process is the body love reconnection method. So within that, there is mindset shifts. So that, and we've covered that. So it was about those mindset shifts are about rewiring the way we speak to and about ourselves. On the first night, we really started to pull apart what is it that we're saying about ourselves or to ourselves that isn't serving us. Because, often we can start to take over what other people have said to us in our lives. Like you might have heard certain things through school or from your parents or from friends or from other family members, and you took that on board and you started to re-say that to yourself throughout your life. One of the things that comes to mind is things like you'll never be anything, you'll never amount to anything. So many of us got that from somebody who was just saying it because they were angry with the world. And yet we took it on as real, as truth for ourselves, and then we carried that through from our conditioning. Um, we might have heard you'll be a failure. We might have heard that you're fat. We might have heard that you're ugly or that you have no value or whatever it is. And we just carry that through our lives and wonder, we wake up one day and wonder why we're sick, why we have illness, why we have disease in our bodies, and why we are so damn unhappy. And these are the reasons because of that dialogue that's going on continually. It's interesting where, in the work that I do, just how profound it is to come to these realizations. We have about 90,000 thoughts a day. 90,000 thoughts a day. Majority of those thoughts are negative. The majority of things we say to ourselves is negative. And and out of those 90,000 thoughts, there's about 5 to 10 things that are just on repeat. 5 to 10 things that are just on repeat. So if we can just work on uncovering what those 5 to 10 things are that we say to ourselves, and then rewiring it, redoing it, switching it to the opposite of that, that's when we can start to get momentum in the way that we see ourselves and experience the world. One thing that I always give my clients on a first session is called the switch task. And it's something that I get them to do is to get themselves a journal and start to listen to what you're saying to yourself and write it down in green pen. And, it'll be the, you're not good enough. It'll be the, you're stupid. It'll be the, you'll never amount to anything, whatever it is. And we start to uncover that by journaling about it, by sitting down and having an awareness about what it is, what is it that I'm saying to myself? What is it that is part of those 90,000 thoughts I have a day? Um, and then we really pull them out, and there's usually about 5 to 10 things, and then they're just said on repeat or they're said in a different way that have the same meaning. And this can just go on and on and on. Um, and so then what we do is we go, right, what's the opposite of that? What's the polar opposite of that thing I've been saying to myself? And we write that down in red pen. So now we've got an awareness of what we're saying to ourselves that is not serving us and what we could be saying that would be serving us. And that's just the first step. Then we can start to look at ways in which we can say the positive more often. So repetition is key when we're rewiring the brain. So when we start to uncover the old and bring in the new, it's then about repeating it, being repetitious about it. Maybe doing some mirror work, standing in front of the mirror every morning, saying your affirmations, I am, I am, I am, of what you want, what you desire to be, and how you desire to feel about yourself. Um, And then all of a sudden, my clients, they find themselves walking down the street and then they might catch a glimpse of themselves in the mirror and that old pattern, that old repeat, that old record pipes up and says, oh, you're not good enough, you're fat. And then they go, actually, no. And they cancel it out and go, no, I am this because it's now front to mind because we've brought it back to our awareness and we're starting to take charge. And that is empowering. That is so empowering to be able to do that. We need to be our biggest cheerleader. We need to be the one that cheers us on because you are going to be, what it was Mel Robbins said, or someone said, you are going to be the biggest love of your life. You're going to be the biggest love of your life in this life. You want to make it count, right? Because no one is ever going to love you as much as you have the ability to love you. And once you have that ability to love you and you love you in a way that is unconditional and pure, that's when you attract that same love back. Because then we're talking frequency, like attracts like, right? I think it was Whitney Houston who sang the song about it has to come from you. You have to love you. And it, it was sort of drilled into us that, going through childhood, going through school, um, where it was frowned upon, and kids would pick on you if you loved yourself. It's like, oh, you love yourself. You love yourself too much. And I think it's that definitely played a big part in it. Um, but it doesn't have to be that way because that wasn't true. What the kids said at school wasn't true. How would they know anything about you? You know you, and it's okay to love you. In fact, it's imperative to love you. And as I've mentioned in previous talks, it's what are we modeling to the next generations, of our children or our grandchildren or our great grandchildren. It's what do we model? What do we want to model to them? How do we want our little girls to grow up seeing themselves? Do we want them to continue these patterns of just looking in the mirror and hating themselves? No, we don't want that. But kids learn from modeling. So it's important for us to be the model, show them what it looks like to have self-love, and if that's, standing in front of the mirror, saying I am statements in the morning, then that's what it needs to be. So, I hope that resonates with you and helps you. So the mindset shifts, which is rewiring the way you speak to yourself and about yourself, is the first part of the body love reconnection method. The second part is somatic practices. So using breath and touch and movement to create safety in the body. And we talked a little bit about this the other night of, what do you do for your body? Like, it might be taking that extra time to massage some nice oils into it or creams into it to moisturize your skin. It might be um, dancing. It might be, um, you know, something else. But just touching your body with love. I mean, how often do we actually do that? So those types of somatic practices, using breath, using touch, using movement to create safety in the body is so powerful. I talked about how one of my clients who was told she had to have a hysterectomy and she decided to use a different option of castor oil compacts for her belly because she had fibroids. And she saying to me, I think it was actually, I don't even know if it was the castor oil. I think maybe it was just the fact that I was holding my tummy with love, um, holding my uterus with love, that it started to shift things for her. And it ended up that she didn't have to have the hysterectomy after that. And so it just it begs the question of what is the possibilities if we were to show our body love. Now, the third part of the body love reconnection method is daily rituals for lasting self-love, simple actions to maintain the confidence and the self-trust. And this is again going back to perhaps doing some I am affirmations in front of the mirror, or it might be, just simple acts of love. Um, taking some time out to do some meditation. Meditation is really powerful for taking us out of our mind and back into our heart. To take ourselves out of the picture of the day to day, the stress, the worry, all of the things that are going on, and just coming back to self and being in that space of giving ourselves that time to just be. If I was to pull apart my daily rituals, there's a few. There's a few. So it depends on the day of what I'm working on. So sometimes it will just be some I am statements, or it might be some journaling on how I feel or what I want to create. Um, I'm constantly working on my self-image and creating a new self-image as I grow in my business and I grow in my life. I grow as a woman, as a soul, um, as a mother, as a wife, all of those things. I'm constantly working on creating the person in which I want to be, the person in which is staring back at me in that mirror when I look at it. So there'll be a lot around what I'm manifesting, what I need to be for that, how that makes me feel, what I'm grateful for. So that will be part of my daily rituals or practices. Meditation is also part of my daily rituals and practices because being someone who is a trauma therapist who supports people in healing their trauma and their emotions and their past, um, it requires stillness and steadiness within me. It requires me to feel supported from source energy, from universe. So that meditation that I do every week, every day, really helps me to ground and feel supported so that I can do the work that I do. Um, Thirdly, I like to get a little bit of exercise in. So I've been challenging myself with some Pilates at home, and that's been really fun. Um, I did a talk yesterday on sex after hysterectomy, and I'll do one in the group as well. I've done one before in the group, but I have to look back. It would have been about a year ago now. Um, and if you just type in the search bar what you're looking for, it'll bring up all of the things that have been discussed around those things. So, yeah, this one was about sex and all of the changes that a lot of us experience through that. But I'd like to do a talk on that maybe over the next week. And one of the things I talk about in that chat is about um, yoni yoga because probably going a bit off track here, but that's okay. When I had my hysterectomy and it was came around to the 8 weeks that, you're supposed to be able to have sex, I was like, nope, not ready, don't want to go there. So I decided to wait till 12 weeks. And at the 12-week mark, I was comfortable enough to go, yeah, we can have a look and we can have a go and see how it goes. But please be gentle. And it turned out that I was tight to the point where it hurt and it was no good, and I didn't want to do it again. And I just remember laying in the bed that night and just sobbing, just absolutely sobbing that what has this thing done to me? What has this hysterectomy done to me? And how am I going to, move forward in my life? I mean, my intimacy and my relationship's important to me. And, in all honesty, my husband being inside of me is important to me. And, it was a really hard moment to experience. But after that, I did some research and I realized that everything had tightened up because what we experience during a hysterectomy is trauma. It's physical trauma, it's emotional trauma and physical trauma. And I mean, when you think about it, if you've ever hurt your back, what happens when you hurt your back? When you pop a disc or you have like where your spine compacts or whatever, right, from lifting something too heavy, the muscles, they tighten around it. And that's to protect it, right? And so this was what had happened. And I realized that this is something I can work on. And I did some research and I found yoni yoga. This lovely lady from the States, her name is Emily Ray Davies, I think. She does yoni yoga and she has lots of videos and stuff on it. You might be able to look her up on YouTube. Um, and it was really about, yeah, it was a little bit of work around strengthening the pelvic floor, but she goes into great detail about how to do that. Um, but a lot of it was breath work, breathing life back into that space. And within a week of doing it, I opened up like a flower and I was able to have sex without pain. I will say sometimes. So I would have, sometimes I could, have sex without pain or it being too tight, but it really depended on how I was feeling. If I was feeling tense in any way, it would tense up. So I had to be mindful of that to really relax into it. And then came the dryness from the menopause because I had both of my ovaries taken out. So with the dryness, I started to look into different oils and lubricants and things like that. I found a beautiful oil that I use from a company called Elshka here in Australia. And I'm actually working with them at the moment to get a discount code for you ladies. It is just such a beautiful, all natural product that just works a treat for vaginal dryness. Um, what what I found though, after being on the estrogen patch, the estrogen patch I got about 6 months, 5 months after my surgery, everything just started to improve. I was put on the lowest dosage because I'd had cancer. And the doctors say, no, you can't have estrogen after cancer. So I was like, I pushed the issue because I did the research. I was talking to someone in the chat today about this. Um, I asked for I asked for the estrogen and they said no, you've had a cancer, you're too high risk. And then I went online and I started researching and especially in the States, there's a lot more information now with a lot of women doctors, a lot of women OB-GYNs and um, and they're talking about how it's actually beneficial to women, that it's not that higher risk to have the estrogen patch with the progesterone, even if you have had cancer, even if you've had breast cancer, that which is just this is new information that's not readily talked about out there. Um, when I was doing my research before, I found even more research, even when I looked at the statistics, because they haven't actually in back in the day, they did one research study, um, and it had, I don't know, I shouldn't be quoting this because I can't remember it now. And it wasn't even an official study, like it was a bodged study where that's when they decided that women couldn't have estrogen after having cancer. And even from those stats, it was a 0.0000005% increase possibility of another cancer. And I was like, you know what? My my quality of life is worth taking that 0.0000005% chance. I'm going on the estrogen. So I fought it with my doctors. They finally let me go on a very low dose of 25 milligrams. Didn't do a damn thing. I still had the hot sweats. I still was kept up all night, couldn't sleep because I was just hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Um, Not to mention the body aches, the joint aches. Like I pretty much was getting arthritis overnight. So, I decided to get in touch with the Australian Menopause Centre, and they specialise in it. And they were like, you are fine to take estrogen. We'll bump you up to 50 milligrams. So I went up to 50 milligrams, got some relief, but I still was having fluctuations. So I went up again to 75 milligrams. That seemed to be pretty good. But I still had a few symptoms. So I'm now on 100 milligrams, which is the highest dosage, with progesterone and feeling fantastic, feeling like I was before I had the hysterectomy. So it's definitely worthwhile doing your research around that. Um, And so getting back to the sex talk, so what ended up happening was the dryness went away. Like I can actually produce my own lubricant now. I don't know what they call it, but like I used to, because that doesn't come from the cervix; it comes from the walls of the vagina. So, and estrogen is the main factor that helps us release that. So, I don't even need to use Elshka anymore. I can literally just everything works as it used to. So I hope that I hope that resonates with some of you and it's helpful. But do your own research. Don't take my um, word for it because I'm not a doctor. So I don't I don't give people this is exactly what you need to do. I'm just going off my own experience of what worked for me. And yeah, life has been a lot better with being on the patches. So, so like we were talking about, just having those daily rituals for lasting self-love, affirmations, journaling, meditation, touch, dance, movement, breath, um, and really starting to rewire the way you speak to yourself or about yourself. That those three things are going to help you a long way. So that's that. I want to do a hypnosis now, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if any of you ladies have ever had hypnosis before, but there's not much to it. It really is just it just is a relaxation. It's pretty much like a meditation. That's what it feels like. And this is a beautiful one I created recently for specifically for you ladies to bring in that confidence and the power and the self-trust to really embody the woman that you are becoming. Um, so this will guide you into a deep state of peace and joy and self-love, allowing you to fully embrace your new identity with confidence, power, and self trust in all of the things we've let go of during this time we've had together, which has been short, but it's been pretty beautiful. Um, so we'll use vivid imagine like imagery and sensory engagement to anchor the feelings at a subconscious level for you so that you can just feel the difference. When I do this with clients, they just float out the door afterwards, and it's really lovely. So, yeah. So all you'll need, you don't need a pen and paper for this one. All you need is a quiet space to um, relax, sit down, put your feet up, get rid of all distractions. So if you're on your computer, put your phone on silent. If you're on the phone with me, then maybe put your phone up somewhere or just sit it next to you so you don't need to see me for this. Um, and when you're ready, you can close your eyes. You can take a deep breath, deep cleansing breath in and exhale slowly, just releasing all tension, all distractions, releasing all the weight of the outside world. Feel your body becoming lighter and softer, more at ease. With every inhale, you breathe in peace. And with every exhale, you let go of anything that no longer serves you. Allow yourself to sink deeper into relaxation, as if you're floating in a warm, gentle ocean, each wave lulling you deeper into deeper peace, a place where you're safe, supported, and completely at ease. Taking one more final deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, fully landing in your body, feeling the heaviness, the safety, the peace. Now, imagine yourself standing at the entrance of a beautiful garden, a sacred space that represents the new life that you're stepping into. And as you step inside, feel the warmth of the golden sunlight on your skin, the soft earth beneath your feet, grounding you in the present moment. Around you, you notice flowers bloom in vibrant colors. Each one carries the essence of self-love, confidence, and joy. You notice a pathway ahead, and this is the path to your highest self, the woman who has fully embraced her body, her soul, and her power. And as you walk along this path, you feel lighter, as if shedding old layers, old beliefs, old fears, old stories that no longer serve you or define you. And with every step, you become more radiant, more confident, more you. You hear whispers of encouragement in the breeze, reminding you you are worthy, you are powerful, you are enough. And it feels so good. Up ahead, there's a pool. Its surface calm and inviting. And as you step closer, you can see your reflection in the pool. And you see the most radiant, powerful, confident version of yourself staring back. She's smiling. Her eyes are filled with love, self-trust, and knowing. This is you. The you that no longer carries shame, no longer doubts her worth. The you who walks boldly into her future, fully embodied in her truth. Stepping into the water now, merging as one with this version of yourself. Feel her energy becoming yours. Feel her confidence flowing through you, her love wrapping around you like a warm embrace. She's showing you the way. You are her. You have always been her. And now you fully remember her. Enjoy this moment. If there's any wise words that she has for you, allow them to come through now. And now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel this transformation settling deep within you now. knowing that you're leaving this space changed, whole, embodied, and free. And in a moment, I'll count from 5 to 1. And when you open your eyes, you'll feel completely refreshed, empowered, and deeply at peace. 5, feeling the energy of your new identity anchoring within you. 4, bringing back all that love, all the confidence, and all that joy. 3, becoming more aware of your surroundings now, bringing this feeling with you. 2, feeling alive, empowered, and deeply connected to yourself. And 1, open your eyes, fully here, fully present, and fully you. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is just the beginning. You've done so well. Please congratulate yourself for showing up, because I am so proud of you. So, so proud of you for showing up for you. And it's amazing. You are now walking, I'm losing my voice again. You are now walking into your life as the embodied woman that you were always meant to be, that was always within you. I know many of you are feeling a big shift. And I also know that after today, you'll have a choice. Do I go back to my old patterns, or do I take this healing deeper? Now, a lot of women who go through this process with me over the 3 days find that they do have a tendency to fall back into those old patterns because there's so much more work to be done. So I wanted to invite you today to the Embodied Woman Radiant Body Reset. That is my signature 8-week program. I'm inviting you to step into this journey with me if it speaks to you. If it speaks to you, let's book a call and see if it's right for you. Now, when we do this, it's actually in a group masterclass, like a group setting. And what we do is, I've lost my train of thought. We've got the Embodied Woman Radiant Body Reset, because I know how easy it is to fall back into that self-doubt, to let life get in the way of your healing. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about fully stepping into your power, confidence, and self-worth. So this is the program I wish I had when I was struggling to reconnect with my body. This is the safe, sacred container where real transformation happens. It's your invitation to go beyond the surface and truly embody the woman that you were meant to be. When I was going through my journey 2 years ago, I wish I had this. And that's why I created it, because I knew that women need this. Women need to be able to work through these emotions. They need to work through what's happened to them and come out the other side. So it's 8 weeks of deep healing and transformation, live calls and hypnosis to rewire self-love and confidence. There's somatic practices, there's body reconnection rituals. We do timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and so much more. There's so much spiritual awareness and education in this program as well that gives you tools for life. We work with the universal laws so that you have no reason why you will ever step back into that old version. You will ever step back into those old patterns again. So the doors are officially open. We get started after it's full. There is a limit to how many that can join the program. So once we have the full numbers, that's when we go ahead. So it could be in 2 weeks' time, it could be in 3 weeks' time, it could be in 4 weeks' time, it could be next week. Depends on how quickly everyone jumps on. So if you are interested in having a chat about this, I'd love to invite you to get on a DM with me and we can chat. We can book a call, we can have a Zoom, we can have a phone call, whatever works for you. Um, so this is for women who are really ready to release body shame, rebuild self-love, and fully trust in their bodies again. There's a lot more emotions that we release. So, what you'll experience is releasing those emotional wounds. There's guilt, there's limiting beliefs there that will be released. We reconnect with your feminine energy and your body. We rebuild self trust, confidence, and self love, and learn to embody practices to sustain the transformation. So week one is about awareness and self-discovery. Week two, emotional release and healing. Week three, mindset rewiring for self-love. Week four, feminine energy reconnection, which is absolutely beautiful. Um, then we have week five, embodying the confidence and radiance. Week six, sensuality and self-trust. And week seven, manifesting and thriving life in your body. And week eight is the full integration. There's also a bonus ninth week where we do Q&A and next level embodiment practices. So I've thrown in that bonus week for absolutely free, where we can catch up, we can share stories about what's different in our lives, and it's truly amazing, like having that ninth week to be able to do that because you really have gone through the full integration and it's time now to really celebrate that with each other and share stories and all of that. So that's so exciting. So the program pricing is 997 Australian dollars or 397 over 3 monthly installments. So it's not expensive, because I want this to be available to as many women as needed. And as we start to build on the people into the group, if it does max out, we'll be just creating a second one. So that I'll be running the two each week. So there is also a VIP option, which includes private one-to-one coaching with me. So that's also something to think about. But yeah, again, have a chat with me on the phone or in Messenger or on Zoom. And I'll answer any questions that you have for that. So, with that, I think that brings our 3 days together to an end. I hope this has been powerful for you and you've noticed the shifts. Well, I know that you have if you followed through, if you followed along with me. And please keep in touch, reach out, keep in the group, keep supporting others, asking for support, reaching out if you need. And like I said, if you are ready to really make that transformation, I've got you. Message me and let's have a chat about the Embodied Woman 8-week program where you really start to shift into your new reality, which is so exciting. All right. Take care. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.